known for their many inventions, their massive cultural influence
Alors.
over the world, their iconic landmarks, their massive military strength, and their size. No, I'm not talking about you guys' landmass or population, which by the way aren't even that big. Now, I'm talking about the country's massive obesity problem.
Je préfère le petit déjeuner américain, parce que café clope, si c'est pas pour vomir. C'est quoi gynémacomia? Gynaecomastia, c'est quoi ça? Genre ils ont des seins? J'avoue, ils ont des builds de fou, les Américains. Le car design, il est cool, hein, en tout cas. Wow!
Aside from their gun laws, their use of weird metrics for no reason, and their lack of universal healthcare, Americans being fat is one of the main things the rest of the world makes fun of them for. And this topic is actually such a
C'est une dinguerie d'avoir cette shape.
things the rest of the world makes.
C'est une dinguerie. J'étais en train de regarder cette vidéo. Elle est pas là. C'est ici. J'étais en train de regarder cette vidéo, j'étais là.
Il a volé ta meuf?
Bah ouais.
Elle s'appelle comment?
Elle s'appelle Zora, elle était à côté, bah ça va. C'est lui qui me l'a pris.
Oh! Toi, tu fais ça, toi? Je t'avais dit la dernière fois. Bah ouais! Vas-y, lâche-moi. Oh!
Voilà, voilà. Ça fait pas ce que
Pourquoi ça bug autant?
Volé ta meuf?
Bah ça fait pas ce que tu fais là.
Bon, déjà, voler la meuf de quelqu'un, c'est une dinguerie. De une. De deux. Aller voir un gars qui a volé ta meuf et dire rends à moi s'il te plaît, c'est une dinguerie. Mais je vais pas dire ce que je pense profondément, sinon je vais avoir des problèmes. Je vais avoir des problèmes sinon. Mais est-ce qu'on... Enfin... Je vais rien dire.
Makes fun of them for. And this topic is actually such a sensitive subject that in the past, American politicians have had their entire reputations ruined by fat jokes. But how bad is America's obesity epidemic really? Is it just a silly stereotype, or 73% of Americans are overweight? 42% of American adults are obese.
42% obèses.
In the world's entire history was American. And that's right, guys, I'm going to do the same thing that all the overly serious geography channels with 4K stock footage backgrounds and boringly normal political takes do, and compare America to Europe. Compared to America's 42% obesity rate, Europe clocks in at only 17%, and that 70%.
17, c'est quand même beaucoup, non? 17, c'est beaucoup, non? 17, c'est quand même beaucoup, non? Sur une personne sur 5.
Is literally all Turkey's fault, okay? At only 17%, and that 70% is literally all Turkey's fault, okay? I'm not even joking. If you remove the UK and Turkey from that statistic, Europe would have like minus obesity percentage, okay?
Du coup, c'est à cause de l'Angleterre et de la Turquie. J'avoue, en Turquie, comment leur en vouloir? Leur bouffe, elle est tellement bonne, frère. Comment ça se tue là-bas, la gras, elle est vraiment délicieuse, hein. Aux États-Unis, je comprends pas, parce que bon, vas-y, leur vieux fast-food là. Mais en Turquie, ah, j'avoue, je comprends.
And if you want to take the America pilled side on this, you could argue that compared to
Angleterre,
European
bon,
food,
ah.
American food just tastes better. And therefore, they eat more of it because it tastes nicer. Simple. That's kind of true in a way, but also completely not true in a way. For example, as much as I love a proper British meal, I'm not exactly going to be frantically binge eating beans on toast, you know? Also, take this
Je préfère mourir, je pense. Déjà que je suis maigre, tu me mets 1 an au Royaume-Uni, je perds du poids. Je perds du poids, je le lis.
Neapolitan pizza, right? Most people would agree it's really, really tasty, but it's not something you'd really get chemically addicted to and keep manically stuffing more and more of them down your throat, even if you're full. It's literally just bread, cheese, tomato, and basil. It's not like that good. American food, on the other hand, is like the most addictive, Moorish drug ever. America has the second highest salt consumption per capita in the world, second only to their best mates, China. The USA also has the highest processed sugar consumption in the world, and this stuff literally makes your brain release dopamine, which is the same type of high you get off so basically American food is just weak ass crap, and for that reason it's a lot tastier for your dopamine starved crackhead brain than boring regulated European food. I mean, just wait till the Yanks
voilà la
find
dose
out
de
about
pepperoni.
the UK's sugar tax.
C'est quoi la sugar tax?
I'll get back to that in a second.
C'est quoi
I've
ça?
got a quick question for you. Have you ever used public networks and felt worried you're not got off you choosing on measure? The results don't lie, you know. The main reason why loads of European countries have taxes to make sugary products more expensive is so that these
Ah, il y a des taxes sur les produits sucrés, comme ça ils sont plus chers. C'est pour ça que c'est si peu cher que ça aux États-Unis. Ah, je voyais des trucs, j'étais là, mais attends, mais c'est pas cher.
healthy foods don't become the most affordable option for poor people. As you can see on this map of America, these states in the deep south are the poorest in the country. These same states are also the most obese in the country. This is because the cheapest food in America is also the unhealthiest, most addictive shit possible. Also, on average in America, the lower paying your job is, the more hours you work, meaning the poorer workers don't have time to cook proper meals, hence fast food. I mean, it's all good being a progressive West Coast hipster food influencer telling everyone they need to start eating. All good being a progressive
Ce bol-là, je le tue.
West Coast hipster
Ce bol-là, je le tue aussi. Oh, surtout celui-là, frère.
food influencer telling everyone they need
Lui
to
un peu
start
moins.
eating Greek yogurt, fresh fruit, and granola every morning if they want to lose weight. But if all you can afford is Frosted Flakes, you're gonna have to get that. Especially if you're chemically wired to only be able to wake up if you get your morning head rush of endorphin exploding sucrose. And then you factor in that this shit is actually marketed as healthy in the USA, and it's actually so over for any Americans that want to lose weight. It's a bit like how drinks like Prime are marketed as healthy sports beverages. Yeah, it might have less sugar, but realistically it contains like millions of toxic artificial sweeteners that will corrode away your internal organs faster than bleach would. Unfortunately, America's food industry is based more around marketing and selling a product for profit than actually providing decent scran for hard-working people. And the big food companies have one big trick up their sleeve to guarantee full obedience, addiction, and maximum profit
un peu la vidéo
from their
tournée,
American
mais
customers. MSG, the mystical white powder that, I quote, antagonizes
quoi,
your
MSG?
pancreas into pouring out more insulin, a hormonal cascade that makes you feel hungrier. So the food many Americans think
Ah, ça je sais. Ça je sais, c'est la même chose qu'il y a dans les boissons gazeuses. Enfin, c'est pas la même chose qu'il y a dans les boissons gazeuses, c'est plutôt comment elles fonctionnent les boissons gazeuses. Ces trucs, ça te donne encore plus la dalle, genre quand tu manges. Il y a pareil dans les boissons, genre... tu les bois, ça donne plus soif qu'avant, littéralement. Il y a ça aussi dans les sirops, non? Je crois qu'il y a ça dans les sirops, genre ça donne encore plus soif. Comme ça, après, tu bois encore plus. Non, ça donne du goût, juste. Non, il est vraiment en train d'expliquer le truc, le procédé, comme quoi... ça te donne plus la dalle, quoi. Genre ça... C'est quoi? MSG, blablabla. Ça change le fonctionnement de ton pancréas pour que tu génères plus d'insuline. Et après, il y a une réaction en chaîne hormonale qui font que tu as encore plus faim.
Quote, antagonizes your pancreas into pouring out more insulin, a hormonal cascade that makes you feel hungrier. So the food many Americans think stops their hunger actually makes them more hungry, and they eat way more food than they needed. Man, you know something has to be really bad for Pakistan to ban it. I mean, at least in Pakistan they use their legs, which is something that's completely unthinkable for a lot of Americans, since half of their cities and road networks are entirely built around accessing fast food chains and making sure people get as little exercise as possible. Less than 25% of Americans walk for more than 10 minutes continuously in a typical week. And I know
Hein?
of Americans walk for more
Moins de 25% des Américains marchent plus de 10 minutes. Continuously, c'est-à-dire d'un coup, genre vraiment sortir marcher 10 minutes dans une semaine. Une semaine générique. Il n'y a pas un seul moment dans la semaine où ils marchent plus de 10 minutes. Pour 75% des Américains, du coup. Et même moi, je le fais. Et moi, j'ai un travail, je suis streamer. Je sors même pas de chez moi. Mais moi, je marche. 25%, ça doit être les mineurs. Ouais, ça doit être ça à l'école.
than 10 minutes
Ça, le col.
continuously in a typical week. And I know you America-pilled guys might see public transport as pathetic, stupid, lefty nonsense, but realistically, the 12-minute walk from your house to the train and the 13-minute walk from your train to your work, for some people, could be the difference between being able to touch your toes and being morbidly ill. Also, another thing I wanted to quickly mention is how the US uses fast food addiction to economically colonize other countries. For example, the Marshall Islands, Guam, Micronesia, just loads of the Pacific Island nations. These countries once had extremely natural diets, mainly consisting of fish, which this part of the world is rich in. That was until America decided to nuke the fucking shit out of their waters. Hundreds of bombs were tested here by the US military despite major local protests. This left a lot of fish dead or radioactive, which as you can imagine was pretty bad for the fishing industry, leaving many Micronesians poor, vulnerable and in need of cheap food. Hey, did someone say Mickey D's? Yeehaw, did someone say goddamn Wendy's? Hey, did someone mention some clucky looking Kentucky fried goddamn chicken? Who ordered some Burger King? Hell yeah!
C'est une dinguerie. Ça a fait péter tous leurs poissons. Ça les a carbonisés, empoisonnés. Ils sont là, bon les gars, on a plus de quoi manger, on a plus de poissons. Bah vas-y, tenez un McDo. Allez, c'est pour nous. Vas-y, tenez un KFC, la chim.
This has led to this region becoming the most unhealthy, most insane.
Et du coup, c'est les régions du monde avec le plus d'obésité. Voilà où ça, c'est une dinguerie. Là où ça, c'est une dinguerie.
Insanely obese
J'avoue, ça,
part
c'est une
of the
dinguerie.
world. Kinda reminds me a bit of how the US treated Native Americans' rations. Yeah, we know you're 100% goddamn reliant off our rations since we eradicated 100% of your goddamn stupid, healthy, natural food source. So in return, we're gonna send you just enough sugar and lard and hard liquor and gambling chips for you to stay alive. Freedom! So, anyway, I guess the moral of this story is, maybe beans on toast isn't actually that bad.
Je préfère mourir. Je préfère mourir que ton business une toast là. Beans and toast m'habite maintenant. Après, tu peux être un Tchad et être en France. Ou en Italie. Ou en Corée. Ou au Sénégal. On mange bien. Je mets bien. On se remplit la panse.
And don't forget, hit that link in the description to get the
Voilà, tous les gens dans le chat, ils vont mettre leur propre pays là. Oi, oi, oi. Ou au Togo. Ou au Congo.